What in tarnation?
Howdy folks, this is Applegeek, and I am about to watch My Little Pony Season 6, Episode 19, The Fault in Our Cutie Marks. Clearly, this is going to be a Cutie Mark Crusaders episode, and if I'm not mistaken, it is the first actual CMC adventure type episode we've had in an entire year. The last one was Crusaders of the Lost Mark, Season 5, Episode 18. This is Season 6, Episode 19. So, yeah, a whole season has gone by, basically. This season, so far, all we've had for CMC episodes was On Your Marks, which was the CMC trying to figure out what they were going to do now that they actually have their marks. It's more about, rediscovering their purpose and their direction. And also got a little bit of character building for Apple Bloom out of it. And then we had Cart Before the Ponies, which wasn't even really a CMC type episode. It was a sister relationship episode, not a Cutie Mark problem episode. So, this is the first one of these in quite a while, so I'm very excited. Also, as in On Your Marks, we see that, a lot of times in these episodes, one member of the CMC gets focused on. And this time, my gut feeling, ever since I saw the episode title leaked out a long time ago, my gut feeling is that this is going to be a Scootaloo episode. Have no idea if I'm right or not. I will have to watch and find out. I do know, I also did see an early synopsis for this one, so I know it has something to do with a new, as a little bit of a spoiler here, a new Griffin character, not Gilda, somebody else. And so I know nothing about this new Griffin. I just know that she's there and the CMC have to help her or something. So clearly the focus is going to be on this new character, but I'm still thinking that maybe Scootaloo will be the one to kind of step up and lead the charge in this one. I don't know. Just have to find out. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and give this a watch. I'm trying to not get myself too hyped up on possibilities of things that could happen in this. So I'm just going to watch it. The Fault in Our Cutie Marks, starting now. Where's this? Hi, Scootaloo.
So, Scootaloo's keeping Petunia busy like you asked. What did you two want to talk about?
I'm sure you get these questions all the time.
Okay.
Oh, this is so awkward.
You're the expert, so we thought you'd have some insight into our daughter's new cutie mark.
What's wrong?
Obviously, we're both very proud of her and her cutie mark.
Despite its
Sure you are.
unsettling nature.
I didn't even
Unsettling?
look what it was.
I don't get what you mean.
Her mark doesn't bother you at all?
Hey, check out what we found!
How do you get a cutie mark like that?
A spiny-backed Potosaurus in our own backyard! And I found him on my very own!
Archaeologist! That was...
She's an archaeologist.
Of course! What did you think she was gonna be? A pirate?
An undertaker?
Why would we think that?
Pirates in Equestria? Confirmed. Okay, well, clearly the CMCs have made a name for themselves. They're a known organization, apparently, that did... Okay. That little filly had kind of a pinky-like mane style. That was interesting, but... I'm guessing that's not going to have anything to do with the rest of the episode, but we'll see.
Another successful
Hi, Scootaloo.
invention! You know, Crusaders, I don't want to toot our own horn, but we've helped a lot of ponies figure out their purpose.
Ed Valentine.
Like Blue Note here. Nice saxophone, Blue Note.
Is that an epic sax guy reference?
Look, there's a pony we've helped find a purpose.
Hey, Bulk. Continuity!
You've got to admit, we've had a pretty good effect on everybody
All right.
since we discovered our destiny.
And started helping other ponies discover theirs. Could this get any better or what?
Now, Scoodly, you do know there will always be challenges. Someday, some pony might even come to us with a problem that even we can't handle. Like, say, a griffin?
Quitter talk.
Ha! Exactly. Like a griffin. But that's just crazy talk.
Or not.
Or not. Oh! Wow.
Really a griffin?
That design.
That's tootin' it is. What do you think that griffin wants? I guess we've got to ask her, but aren't griffins supposed to be kind of mean
Is
and
that a
cranky?
male griffin?
Crusaders,
Look
looks
out,
like
Derpy.
we gotta step carefully. The Cutie Mark Crusaders! I can't believe it's really you!
Okay.
Griffin, not cranky.
How in the blooming apples did you know who we are?
The booming
Who
apples.
you are? No, who you are! Why, I've heard about you from every
Oh.
pony in Ponyville. I'm so excited to meet you, I could just explode. I'm Gabriella, but you can call me Gabby since we're friends now. Pleased to meet you.
I like this griffin.
Well, howdy, Gabby?
I'm just about the most excited any griffin that's ever been about anything.
Excited? But whatever for?
What for? What for? Every pony in town tells me of your amazing assistance. How you help ponies find their place in the world. It's a calling, and that's why I'm
True.
here. I need help too. I want you to give me a cutie mark.
Can a griffin even get a cutie mark?
I don't
Took
know.
the words right out of my
I
mouth.
think we should probably find out.
Research time.
So, Gabriella. Gabby, Kay? Gabby, why do you even want a cutie mark? It doesn't seem like a very
Wait a
griffin-y
minute.
thing to want.
Is that Gabby Gum's reference?
Right. You're telling me. I don't know if you've heard, but griffins can be a little bit unfriendly. Most griffins don't pay much attention to each other. And if they do, it's not, the good kind.
Still.
As for me, I'm just a little mail delivery griffin who likes to spread a little bit of griffin-y sunshine on my rounds, which always makes me feel
Aw.
different from the other griffins.
Wow. That's harsh.
I'd do anything for any old griffin in need. But it just always seemed like the harder I tried.
Where's Gil? Are we gonna see Gilda in this?
It wasn't until your friends came to Griffinstone that I realized some creatures
Oh.
are just helping each other. And I saw something so awesomely awesome.
Okay.
How helping spreads from pony to pony and griffin to griffin.
The continuity.
I knew then that I had to find out why I was so different from the other griffins. And I knew the answer just had to have something to do with those wonderful, amazing marks on the pony's flanks. And I admit, I became maybe a little obsessed. A letter from Gilda, I took it so I could find the perfect ponies to help me understand what those marks are. Every pony here told me one thing. I just had to see the Cutie Mark Crusaders. They've helped every pony here get their cutie marks. And I knew, I just
Hey,
knew
Tender Taps.
that someday I'd have one
And
too.
the sax guy too. Okay.
A cutie mark of my very own.
That sax guy's gonna have a
That's why
fan
I'm all
name.
the way here. I want to find my own place in the world, and I know you can help me by giving me a cutie mark. So let's make with the cutie. Whenever you're ready. Did it happen yet?
That doesn't work like
Not exactly.
that.
How about now? How about now? How about now? How about now?
Oh my word.
Gabby, I hate to break it to you, but it sounds like you might have heard some tall tales about what Crusaders can do.
I mean, we are kind of awesome and all, but no pony can just give you a cutie mark. It just sort of happens.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen to griffins. Or if it does, we've never ever heard of it.
Oh, I
True.
hadn't thought of that. Sounds like a challenge. And who could be up to it but the world famous Cutie Mark Crusaders? Cutie marks, it's in your name and everything, right? Right? Now I have to deliver Gilda's letter to Rainbow Dash.
She's got him there.
I bet by the time I get back, you'll have it 100% figured out. Toodles for now. Whee! Gonna get my cutie!
What she wants. It's not possible, right?
I don't know, but I know someone who just might.
This Griffin is like a Cutie Mark Crusader on steroids. Twilight.
I've never read a thing about any creature other than a pony getting a cutie mark.
Said we were going to research this.
Twilight, Gabby flew all the way here so we could help her. There's gotta be something we can do. Say, is there some kind of spell you can whip up to make her mark appear?
Have we tried that already?
If you remember, but using magic to get a cutie mark never really works out all that well. Oh, right. Crusaders, I'm sorry. While I can't say for certain that it's utterly impossible, the chances of Gabby getting an actual mark are pretty slim. Everything I've ever learned tells me it's just not gonna happen.
That's quitter talk.
Poor Gabby. What the apples are we ever gonna tell her?
I'll figure something out. Just because she doesn't have a mark doesn't mean you can't help her find her purpose.
And now we're gonna let her down. But what else can we do?
You know what, Crusaders? So what? Maybe we can't help Gabby get a cutie mark, but we can still do what we're best at. We can help her find her purpose.
And I reckon doing that is the same for griffins as it is for ponies, or any other creature in Equestria.
All we have to do is be extra special clear with her. Like Crystal Empire clear.
That's really clear. And sparkly. Glomp.
Hiya, you wonderful, wonderful Crusaders! I just know you figured out how to help me because you're all so incredible! Well, Gabby, we've talked it over, and we think we may just be able to help you out, but not exactly in the way you think. See, here's the thing about you getting a cutie mark. I'm getting a cutie mark!
Yeah, she's not gonna listen.
Let me finish!
Yeah.
I think maybe that could have been clearer.
Yeah.
Cutie mark! Cutie mark!
I like Scootaloo trying to take charge of this.
She's still going. Any pony know if griffins ever get tired?
What do you think my mark will be? A lightning bolt? An erupting volcano? I don't care if it's a jar of marmalade! Whatever it is!
Erupting volcano?
Just a hoof step,
What would
Gabby.
that talent
There's
be?
something we need to clear up. We can definitely help you find your purpose, but that mark's probably not gonna happen.
What? It's true. Twilight's never heard of a creature other than a pony getting a cutie mark. Oh, is that all? You had me worried for a second.
What about zebras?
There's a first time for
Are they technically
everything, right?
ponies?
And she didn't say it was impossible, right?
Well,
True.
not exactly.
Just
Well,
never happened
if any
before.
pony can make it happen, it's you three. I mean, you haven't failed yet. You know what, Gabby?
Go for it.
I promise we're gonna do everything we can to help you get your mark.
Atta girl.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I can feel it.
And she's off again. Why in tarnation would you promise something that just can't be done?
I know what it's like to want something that's out of reach.
She promised to
And just
try.
because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it can't. Maybe trying for the impossible isn't so bad.
Guess we'll never know for sure.
And Scootaloo would know.
Try. All right, but where do we even start?
Where we always do, with a good old-fashioned Crusaders chart.
The
Sure,
first
why not?
thing we
Oh,
gotta
we
do
haven't seen one of
is
these in a
find our
while.
Purpose.
No pony gets a mark without one. Oh, right. Let's do this. What are you good at? Do you play any sports?
Delivering mail?
Or like to dance? Or how about singing? I just love to sing. La 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 la.
Wow. I kind of wanted
That
to
wasn't
try
bad.
everything. I mean, I don't even know what to pick. Don't worry. That's what we're here for.
So. I
Like
I
a
knew
racer
there was gonna
at
be a
the
song.
starting line, you're chomping at the bit.
You are here to find your purpose and a place to really fit.
And until you find your place in life, you're never gonna quit. We can help you find the purpose in your life.
A griffin mixes lion strength with winged eagle's might. When I finally find my purpose, then my cutie mark's in sight. Crusaders, I won't let you down. I've just begun to fight. You're gonna help me find the purpose in my life.
Wow.
Got a job that's just no fun. Call on me, I'll get it done. Cauldron
Love her running
stuffing
animation.
is a
Hi,
mix.
Zagora.
One who's got the fix. Help you teach pre-calculus. Scrub the floors, won't
What?
make a fuss. Clear it up,
Calculus?
give a yelp, rear
Love the song.
Pick your fave and leave behind the rest. I'll try anything to get my cutie mark. Keep up with me, Crusaders. We're just getting our start. Rock your little ones to sleep.
Aw.
Hang up the sheets. I can help you with your heavy load. Walk Granny across the street. I'll run you round the faces fast. It's really no big feat. Can we help her find the purpose in her life?
Wait, she's a dentist now?
Feeling low.
More continuity.
Garden, make it grow. Write a piece for your quartet. Fill in
Octavio.
a clarinet. Bake that cake as
Sure,
fast
why
as
not?
lightning. She's so good at things, it's frightening. Cutie mark. I think we've got a problem. Fill the bowl and say
She's good at everything.
need some help. You know that you can count on me. See,
Wow.
you're gonna help me find my purpose. The purpose in my life.
How about just being a positive influence on everyone else? It's working for me.
Now how we gonna do this?
By that I mean her positivity is like getting me all jazzed up.
Special purpose can't be everything, right? It may as well be. I don't know how we find what she's supposed to do when she can do it all.
And if finding her purpose seems impossible, we can just forget about the whole Griffin getting a cutie mark thing, which is actually impossible. I never should have gotten her hopes up.
I did it all! So, lay it on me, Crusaders. What's my purpose? And how do we get a mark on these here haunches?
Tattoo?
Gabby, we don't.
Wait, what are you saying?
We're saying that since you can do everything so amazingly well, we just can't figure out what one thing you're supposed to do.
Gabby, we can't help you.
But you're the
on.
world famous Cutie Mark Crusaders.
You gotta think bigger than that.
I won't believe it.
Okay,
Gabby,
you three tried to find one thing,
sorry.
and then you found
So sorry.
your talent was
This is
bigger than
just
all that.
Awful.
It's the same thing
For
here.
the first time ever, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are Cutie Mark failures.
Oh, no, you're not. Well, even if you are, you
Sorry,
failed so many times
Crusaders.
before.
I really thought
Get back
we
up,
could
keep
help
going.
Gabby.
I thought we could help any pony. Maybe that's just it. Maybe we can only help ponies.
Or maybe we just plain failed.
Failed? Then what do you call this? Cutie Mark?
Paint.
What? You got your mark after all, even though we couldn't find your purpose? But what? Huh?
No.
Oh, what does it mean? A cauldron?
I don't know. Maybe it means my purpose is helping Sakura with potions.
Yeah,
that was the first
right.
thing I tried. I guess it just took some time to appear.
She's pulling an apple bloom.
This is awesome! We're not failures! Whatever we did worked! I had a feeling we could help you, and we did!
Oh, we've got to go see Twilight right away. She'll want to know about this. Correction. She needs to know about this. I bet she'll want to write a whole book about the very first Griffin to get a cutie marker of her own.
That she will.
Totally! But, you know, Rainbow Dash asked me to pick up her answer to Gilda's letter. I better take care of that before I forget. Here's an idea. You head to the castle and I'll meet you there. Cutie mark and all.
Right.
Wow! Can you believe it? We were able to help her get her mark after all. Come on, Crusaders. Let's tell Twilight. Gabby, you just missed her. She was in such a hurry she didn't even come in. Just dropped this letter and zoomed away.
Dear Crusaders, I'll never forget you. You really are every bit as awesome as I'd heard. I'm heading home to tell all the Griffins how you did the impossible by getting me my cutie mark.
Noodles? Wait a second. Cutie mark? You actually got a griffin, a cutie mark for the first time in recorded history? A full-scale research project?
Yep.
Makes no sense.
Total Twilight.
Come in and show you her mark?
You have got to get Gabby back here right away. I have so many questions. Oh, I hope I have enough ink and parchment to document everything. Spy! Guess what just happened?
Weird. Gabby didn't show Twilight her
And
mark
where's
like she
Starlight?
said she was gonna do? Something in this here applesauce smells kind of fishy.
We'd better find her and find out what's going on. Come on, Crusaders.
The apple puns are strong with Apple Bloom in this episode.
She's not in the air. She's right there. Gabby, hold up.
Oh, she's helping out Doc.
Sorry, no time to chat. I just stopped to help this pony get out of the muck, and then I really gotta fly. Okay?
That's her special purpose. She's helping everyone.
Gabby, we're your friends. Why in Equestria are you running away from us?
Running away? Oh, I'm not running away. I'm just, excited to show my lovely new cutie mark to everyone in Griffinstone.
You mean the cutie mark that's running right off your foot?
Yep, that's the one. I guess the one thing I'm really not good at is faking things.
Wow, Gabby.
She
Taking on a fake cutie
want
mark
to be.
to make yourself feel better? You must have been really upset.
Sure, I was disappointed, but I didn't do it to make myself feel better. I wanted to make you feel better.
Ding dong.
I couldn't bear you three thinking you failed after you tried so hard to help. That's why I had to leave before your Twilight found out the truth. I'm sorry I wasn't honest with you. I'll just wing my way back to Griffinstone. Thanks for trying.
Oh, we ain't done yet.
To apologize for caring about how other ponies are feeling. I'm just sorry we couldn't come through for you.
Maybe we can. Gabby, clean up and meet us at the Crusaders Clubhouse.
What you got there, Scootaloo?
I know you all tried your very best, but I guess Griffins and cutie marks just don't mix. Maybe I don't even have a special purpose.
Hang on a second. We were racking our brains trying to figure out your destiny until we remembered how every time you did something new, you tried to help every pony around you.
Exactly.
Even us. How did it feel when you showed up with that fake mark, and the three of us thought we'd actually helped you?
Well, I was really glad I helped you feel happier.
So maybe helping
Exactly.
is your thing. You might even say it's your purpose.
But helping just feels good. It couldn't have anything to do with what I'm supposed to do with my life, right?
Why not?
Finding your special purpose doesn't have to be about being good at something. It's about feeling good about something inside.
And it looks like your destiny is a whole lot like ours. Helping others.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need a symbol on your flank to know that. But
Exactly.
since we are the Cutie Mark Crusaders, we made you one anyway. Behold!
No. Did you? No, they did it. They did it.
All figured out what you should do with your life.
But they look just like yours. You can't mean...
You bet we do.
Honorary
You're one of us
CMC.
now. Gabby, today we dub the very first Griffin member of the Cutie Mark Crusaders.
Yep.
You may not be able to
It
get
makes
a
5
cutie
now.
mark, but you're selflessly dedicating your life to helping others anyhow. I can't think of anything more crusadery than that. Oh, land's sakes! You sure have earned it. And so have we. Scootaloo, you're pretty amazing. Even though things look bleak, you still found a way to help Gabby in the end.
Of course, helping's what we do, right?
Absolutely.
I am so grateful! I'm gonna
Come
go
on, bud.
home and do my very, very best to bring Cutie Mark Crusader values to Griffinstone! I promise!
Promise us one other thing, too? Come back soon! After all, you're a Crusader now. Crusaders forever, Crusaders forever!
Alrighty. Aaron Matthews. A new voice actor, it looks like. Okay, well... It was not necessarily the bombshell episode that I thought it might have been way back when, but still a very good episode. So... Yep, I definitely need to rewatch this and make sure I've got this all in my head and everything. I will be right back. Alrighty. Scootaloo fans rejoice. We finally got sort of a Scootaloo-focused episode. Clearly not probably as directly referencing Scootaloo as we'd hoped, since the focus was on this new character, Gabby. But I loved seeing the fact that Scootaloo was kind of put in the leadership position for the Cutie Mark Crusader team in this instance. And it makes a lot of sense why, because in a lot of ways she can relate to Gabby's predicament. And that's what I saw kind of going into this. And that's one of the reasons why I thought, from way back, that this might be a Scootaloo episode. I just thought they might have taken it a little bit further. I thought maybe this would have been a bombshell episode for Scootaloo's handicap getting addressed, just like we got the Cutie Mark bombshell back in Crusaders of the Lost Mark. Sadly, that was not the case, but they did at least touch on it a little bit, which was great to see. There was that scene where she was kind of giving the others a little pep talk and saying that she's flapping her wings a little bit and saying, hey, just because you got a goal that seems impossible doesn't mean that you shouldn't still try to reach it. I mean, she knows exactly what she's talking about on that. That scene really kind of had some vibes of back to Flight to the Finish, which was also written by Ed Valentine, who was the writer of this episode. She, in practicing for their performance for the Equestria Games, she was bound and determined to try and find a way to finally be able to fly, because she thought that that's what they needed to do to pull off an awesome performance. And it for whatever reason, that goal is still out of reach, but that didn't stop her from trying. So, Gabby's kind of got the same situation where apparently the biological makeup of griffins does not allow them to get cutie marks. I was questioning that in this episode. I wasn't sure, in the middle of this episode, if this was actually going to be like a first-time thing, like this would actually happen or not. It did not happen, so it's probably best to leave it that way, all things considered. But I did wonder, but anyway, it didn't go that way. It's not possible. It was an out-of-goal reach for her, and so Scootaloo could empathize that and really wanted to step up and help her because of it. So that's why she was promising that hey, we'll do our best to help you try and figure something out no matter what. And as I noted, and Scootaloo right after I noted it figured it out as well. Just because we can't help her get a cutie mark doesn't mean we can't still help her find her purpose. The interesting thing is that her purpose was already found, more or less. Like, if she could get a cutie mark, I'm sure she would have had it long before she came to Ponyville, because she clearly was all about helping others, without a moment's hesitation. And just to touch on Gabby here in general, Gabby is a fantastic character. We finally got a lovable Griffin. This is awesome. I mean, I know there's people that like Gilda. I get that. And I do too, honestly. I mean, just not as much as some other characters, but I see the potential there for her. And her, kind of snarky attitude is kind of charming at times. But Gabby is like a polar opposite of all other Griffins. I think basically like all the values of the elements of harmony, of kindness, generosity, laughter, etc., etc. I think they all just went into, when it came to time to give those to the Griffins, all of those traits just went into Gabby, and only Gabby, no one else. And her problem was that she's so bubbly and full of life and wanting to help others, but just in her environment, nobody else would ever reciprocate on that. They're just mean and nasty to her by the looks of it. I was wondering if we were going to see what's been happening in Griffinstone since the Lost Treasure of Griffinstone back in Season 5. I thought we were seeing it as a flashback thing, but I thought it was a more recent flashback, but that was actually a flashback to show that last scene from that old episode, Lost Treasure of Griffinstone, and we got to see it from Gabby's perspective, like she was there seeing all this go on. So it made sense that they were still kind of at each other's throats then. How things have improved now, hard to say, but I'm sure it's been slow going, partly just because of the fact that Gabby is coming looking for a cutie mark because apparently she's still being treated the same way that she had been back then. So, and she wasn't seeing that was her, or that already her special talent was, helping others, being kind to others. She thought there was something else that she needed to do, some other level she needed to achieve. And seeing the way Pinky and Rainbow had helped Gilda become friends, and saw the flashing cutie mark, she latched onto that and thought, oh, it's the cutie marks. That's the answer. I need to get a cutie mark so I can, step up and start really helping others and changing others, and is making the world a better place. So, but unfortunately, she latched onto the wrong thing. She got focused on getting the mark rather than figuring out what the mark was about. And that's the same fault that the Cutie Mark Crusaders had for the longest time. They were so focused on trying to get the mark. I'm sure half the time they didn't even stop to think about the implications of having a talent in the area of the things they were trying. They just wanted to get the mark. And just didn't think about the broader implications of that. But once they finally figured out that, it's like, hey, getting the mark isn't, that big of a deal. Like, look, we helped somebody else, and that went so much better than these other things they were trying. They've been failing at everything else, and they actually succeeded when they stopped to help others, like with Diamond Tiara and Trouble Shoes. And it's like, hey, want to just do this from now on? Yeah, great. Boom, they get their marks. That was their special talent. They had that ability all along. They just needed to make the realization. And Gabby was in the same situation. She simply didn't realize that was already her special purpose. So, as I said, she was kind of a Cutie Mark Crusader on steroids, like going through and doing all this stuff. The crazy thing was that she was good at all these things on the chart, whereas Cutie Mark Crusaders more or less failed at all those things. So she was kind of one-upping them in their own game, the game they used to play. So yeah, and I was going to say too, I kind of feel like regarding that not be able to get the mark. Well, okay, I back up and finish there. Once they finally did understand that and helped her understand that, hey, this is actually your special talent. Then they gave her an honorary cutie mark, and I'm fine with this. I loved seeing that. My concern is that I know there's a lot of people in this fandom that just, for reasons that I just don't fully understand or can't relate with, they just really hate the CMC Crusaders cutie marks. They hate the color scheme, the design, the whatever. And now that we've got a fourth one, I'm sure there's people, it's just going to light that firestorm up again. So, if you don't like the cutie marks, that's fine. That is your right to have. You're entitled to that opinion. But it just, there's some people that just argue it to death, and it just creates a lot of bickering, and we just don't need that. So I was a little disappointed to see that we went there simply from that perspective. But in terms of what it meant to Gabby, that was an incredible act of symbolism there. Basically it seems he's acknowledged her as being supportive of she was basically worshiping the CMCs as heroes, and they, by doing that, by making her an honorary member, giving her those crests, they acknowledged her that as an honorary member of their team, and that she's living up to their values and of wanting to help others find their place and spread friendship and whatnot. So I mean, that was like a dream come true for Gabby. So I love that they did that. But that's the thing. She needed to understand that the cutie mark was simply a symbol of the values that you have and the talents that you have. It's not the mark itself that's important. It's what the mark represents. And looping back to the earlier thought I almost started on, I kind of feel like we as humans are, can relate to the griffins in this respect. We don't get cutie marks. We don't have that to rely on to pinpoint and say, hey, this is what I'm good at. Some people struggle a lot to figure out what they're good at, or to see how they help others around them. Other people, some people can't figure it out at all. They just never get the right opportunity to discover it. Some people are doing the thing that they're really good at, but they somehow still don't see that that's what they're actually good at, and that's what they're meant to do, because they don't see, even if they know that they enjoy doing it, they don't necessarily see a path forward in their personal lives, in that respect. And that's where Gabby was at with this. So it's just I feel like it's really identifiable for us to understand Gabby's plight with this. So it's just something to think about. I don't really have a significant point to end on that. It's food for thought, I guess. So, and it kind of almost goes into how, a lot of the fans of the show, a lot of people put a lot of thought and effort into creating their OCs, especially the cutie marks, and their OCs and cutie marks become a representation of what they are. I mean, they effectively give themselves a mark, which is what Gabby was trying to do here. And it's like, okay, the CMC's created an OC. but again, it makes sense. Sometimes you need to be able to identify what makes you special and give yourself a reminder of that. And that's perfectly okay. Sometimes we all need that reminder about what makes us special, because in this crazy world, it is easy to lose sight of that. Every day comes an opportunity to lose sight of that. So again, just, food for thought. And in terms of symbolism, there was one other item. The opening scene was actually interesting. A buddy of mine I was chatting with pointed out to me something, symbolism-wise that I had missed. The fact that the parents were concerned about what direction their child was heading in life with a cutie mark like that. Apparently she thought that they thought that she was gonna turn into a pirate or something with the skull and bones like that. And I'm sure that's a thing that all parents at some point run into. They see their child, liking something or doing something that they seem to enjoy, but it doesn't seem to be going a direction that the parents think is a good direction for their child. And there are some things in this world that children need to be steered away from. There are bad paths that you don't want to go down. But sometimes I think there's traits where it's like you need to be patient and see where things go before you just say that this is bad, we shouldn't be doing it this way, because you never know what it's going to turn into. And here I said that they thought their daughter was going to become a pirate, and instead she's an archaeologist, and it's like, oh, whew, that makes a whole lot more sense. It was still an odd cutie mark, because still anybody that's going to look at that, it's going to be like, huh? I'm sure it'll make more sense when she's grown up and she's out in archaeological digs and whatever, and then it will look like it's perfectly, in place or in theme. But I think we see a lot of that in the show. The different cutie marks is like when they get them when they're young, they probably do look out of place, and when they grow into those roles, then it makes sense. So, but yeah, it's just kind of some symbolism there in terms of parents seeing their children grow up in ways they didn't expect and such, and trying to deal with that. It's just an interesting thing there. And the other takeaway from that scene, I just lost my train of thought. I don't know. Well, like I mentioned there, it's like, oh, Pirates in Equestria confirmed, I guess. I don't know. I'll move on from that. I forgot whatever it was I was going to mention. It wasn't too big of a deal, I don't think. So, there's other notes on this. A lot of continuity in this episode. Tons of continuity. There was at least 5 episodes referenced in this. I mean, we had the cutie pox essentially referenced, because the CMCs were asking about, can't we just do a spell to make a cutie mark appear? Yeah, Apple Bloom's tried that. Didn't turn out well. There is Flight to the Finish vibes with Scootaloo and her determination to help Gabby. Cameos. We saw the Super Teeth Colt, whatever his name is. I'm not sure if he ever got an official name or not, but from Crusaders of the Lost Mark. Gabby was performing dentist work on him, or orthodontics work, or whatever. We saw Tender Taps, dancing in public and bulk biceps, teaching others to weightlift. You know, both callbacks to On Your Marks. And of course, I already mentioned the lost treasure Griffinstone scene. So I mean, just, you know, lots of continuity. And I'm not sure. I mean, just the name Gabby. Remember that back in Ponyville Confidential, the CMC had the pen name Gabby Gums. That could simply be a coincidence. Probably is. I just thought it was interesting that now, you know, they had created this fictitious Gabby Gums character, and now you've got Gabby, who is an honorary member of the CMC. So, foreshadowing level 9,000. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Obvious notes of characters missing. No Diamond Tiara, no Silver Spoon, no Bab Seed. You know, those are all characters involved in the CMC's story that we want to see more of. Really wasn't room for them in this episode. But at the same time, we're still waiting to see them, so maybe next season. Just have to see. Yeah, just odd side note. Blue Note, that jazz saxophone player. So now we've got 3 rather interesting artists, or musical artists in Ponyville: Octavia, Vinyl Scratch, and Blue Note. Like, okay, we got dubstep, classical music, and jazz. I want to see these 3 get together and do something really awesome music-wise. Well, and then for that matter, Gabby being a male delivery griffin, you know, you got Derpy, male pony. I want to see Derpy and Gabby get together somehow. I think that would, you know, not in a shipping manner, just as friends. I think they could have a lot of fun, you know, supporting it, because, you know, Derpy is kind of all about spreading, you know, fun and cheer too, you know, so that would be fun to see. Yeah, I think that's basically all I had on this episode. So again, you know, great to see Scootaloo kind of step up, get a little bit of spotlight. Great new character in Gabby. I'm sure most all of the fandom is going to want to see her back again. So yeah, that's all I got this time. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, I will see you again next weekend for another episode. Maybe try to get some more fan content in somewhere along the way here. I make no promises. I'm still thinking about it. It's just hard to find time to do that. So, and I know I didn't even do a 3,000 sub special because I just have literally not had time to do it, and honestly not even sure what to do for it. So if somebody still wants me to do one, I'm already halfway to 4,000, but if somebody still wants me to do something like that, let me know. Would love some feedback on that if you're even still watching. It's just going to have to be something short and simple at this point, though, because 4,000 is coming up in a little while, and that might be an opportunity to do something a little bit bigger. So, drop me some feedback on that if you want. And, yeah, as always, I will see you again next weekend. So, have a good one.